Okay, so we're going to talk about how healthy brain development is associated with your attention, memory, and information processing. So, in the infancy stage, as your brain is going through the myelination process, your neurons are firing rapid pace, right? And they're sending information, they're sending signals, and they're receiving information. And this is where, as an infant, environment plays a big role because you're bringing in all the information that's around you in your environment. And within this process, you're actually developing your idea, your perception of what the world is, with sound, light, and then going into the toddler stage. And you're doing the same thing, but now you're able to crawl, walk, use your hands. You have all your senses working, and now you're adding on to the layers, right? Your memory bank is now being filled with different layers from just now visual to now physical, right? And in the same stage, the myelination process is still happening. It's still firing fast, right? It's speeding up. It's still sending out signals. It's still receiving signals. Okay, and we're still thinking about how um, through all this whole process, complex thinking is happening and it's processing, right? You're able to make judgments. You're able to have or not have self control, right? You're able to decide to do something, right? It's almost like making a plan. I'm going to go over there and grab that bottle of water, even though I'm not supposed to. Or I'm going to go over there and ask for that candy. And so this is what the brain is doing, it's developing. And as it's developing and you're taking in all this information, you're storing it in a memory bank, right? It's like I'm building layers to what my world is. So it goes from a visual layer to a physical layer. And that environment plays a huge role. Whether your environment is nice and calm, whether it's chaotic, whether it's fast paced, um, that is what your brain is associating with. This is what the world around me should be like. And that moves on to like our school age kids. After those two areas have already been developed, right? You have your attention from what's going on around you, the environment, your caretakers, the trusted adults, whether it be teachers. Um, the attention maybe be from playing the game, it may be from going on a trip somewhere, right? Whatever the attention is, you're storing it in your memory bank, and then you're also processing, how do I react? How do I say something? How do I respond to this? And in that process, as you become a school age student, you're still looking at this myelination process happening. It's speeding up. It's transmitting more information, right? And now language is involved, right? Your environment, who's talking to you, um, are you single language, dual language, right? Um, do you speak English? Do you speak Spanish? Do you speak Russian? Whatever the language may be, now you're adding that to your memory bank and how to respond to certain phrases, certain words within your language, right? Or how to use your body to show the gesture of that response, right? And so this is all being processed and stored into your memory bank as your brain is still growing. So we also have to think about cultural environment versus just our regular societal environment. Now we're thinking about adding on the layer of cultural environment, a dual layer that is being added to the brain. And that's like a dual layer that's added to the world that you already had perceived, right, as an infant. And then, oh, the beautiful adolescence. You think about our middle schoolers, most of all. High school, somewhat, up into the teens, but our middle schoolers. We always think about, man, they're erratic. Are they losing their minds? No, this same process is still happening to their brains, right? Those neurons are speeding up, right? They're still set on making sure that we have all these complex thoughts. But there's one trick to this. Um, there's an irregulation because the part of the brain that is sending circuits and going haywire, and it's just like, hey, we need joy, immediate reward right now. The other part that says, hey, we need to avoid consequences. That is not has not yet grown and matured and is not ready to meet the other side in the middle, right? And so it's a one-way street and the other street is still being built. And so we have to keep this in mind as we're building our classroom environments, as we're having conversations with students, as we're setting up our curriculum to deliver it to students, understanding how their brain is developed, what environment has been developed in, and what in the environment our classroom is for that student. Is our classroom a high pace environment where their brain has started the development was more of a calm, slow pace, right? And so they're going to move at their pace, and the classroom's moving at our pace, and now it becomes overwhelming, right? So we have to make this connection when we're thinking about how the human brain and a healthy brain works, um, and the healthy brain development, right? And so there are some things that I was thinking about as infants that would really help, and has helped my children, like repeating games. Hey, repeat after me. Say what I say. Repeat what I say. Or hey, repeat my movement. Um, Toddlers, we love matching games, right? You have the games with the different color circles or squares, and you turn them all over and have to match the colors together. That's helping with their processing because they have to think about where they last saw the other color, as well as memory, because they have to remember where they saw that at. And then they get attention, they get it right. Somebody's going to cheer for them, or they're going to feel intrinsic motivation or attention. Love, love, love Uno. Uno is one heck of a game, especially for attention, for memory, and processing, all those things, right? You have to remember what card the other person put down, how many cards somebody else has in their hand, when to say Uno. You also have to remember, hey, if somebody puts down a green 7, I can either put down a 7, a green, a wild card, draw 4, skip, reverse, right? You have to remember all these cards and remember what you have in your hand. And then also process quickly, right? I see what's happening here. Oh, I have one card left. I have to be the first to say Uno, right? So there's a lot of processing and a lot of memory happening there. In a game called Tens, we play this in the classroom where everybody's in the circle. The number is 10. If you're the one who says the number 10, you're out. And but you can only say two numbers. So someone will start up and say 1, 2. The next person will say 3, 4. The next person may just say 5. And so as our students are talking and they're saying these numbers, I can watch and see all the students in the classroom counting how many people before them, what number to say, how many numbers to say. So you're processing, right? You're memorizing what the last person said. And then of course the person who wins, everybody cheers for them. And so these are beautiful games for students of all ages um, to use as far as like memory, attention, and just processing. And we just also need to take into account, once again, environment, 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 right? As the brain is developing, the brain is growing, a healthy environment creates a healthier brain. Thank you.